Believe it or not, one of the most persuasive people I know has never worked any kind of sales job in his life. He's not manipulative or even necessarily that pushy. He just understands a few basic things that pretty much anyone could do. Now, the first thing he does is ask questions to figure out what it is that you really want. It's a common mistake to think of persuasion as bending others to your will, but the best way to pitch anything, whether it's a product you're selling or a place for lunch, is by actually showing the other person that what you're offering fulfills their needs or desires. This means that your proposal actually starts as a series of questions about what the other person wants. And as well as giving you the information you're going to need, this shows that you're listening. If you've ever had a salesperson cut you off, talk over you, and just ramble on about how great their product is, you know how important listening is to convincing someone. Because when someone tries to convince you of something without listening to what you want or need, they're signaling to you that their goal matters more than you do. And you will immediately and correctly distrust that person. So I know it sounds basic, but listening to and understanding the person you're trying to convince of anything really is the foundation of persuading anyone. Now, the second thing he does is he gets you saying yes early and often. This one could be seen as manipulative, so I want to emphasize that he doesn't seem to do this on purpose, but it is very effective. Psychologically, we want to be consistent. This is why it can be so hard to let go of certain beliefs, even when we learn they're not necessarily true. And it's also why the longer we've held those beliefs, the harder they are to let go of. Well, one of the less dramatic ways this plays out is our attachment to a yes or a no. If we've already said yes to part of an idea, we're more likely to agree to the rest of it. The best persuaders know this, and they will structure all of their questions so they get easy yeses and avoid nos. But you can start by just breaking down your offer into smaller parts that are very easy to agree to. Now, the last thing he does, and the thing that actually inspired this video, is how he handles objections. People not firmly saying no, but, oh, I can't right now, things like that. See, by the time he makes his pitch, he knows whatever he's offering is within your interests. He knows it's something that you on some level want, and you've even agreed to some of the parts of it. So whenever somebody says they can't do whatever he's offering, he always asks the question, what's stopping you? I worked sales. I've read the books, watched some seminars, and talked to some really persuasive people. This might be the best line I've ever heard. Because not only does it get the other person telling you exactly what they need to say yes, it frames that thing not as a reason they can't, but as an obstacle between them and the thing that they want. And look, I know this seems kind of small, but when he asked me this question the other day, I immediately flipped to trying to make it work. And now, despite being on a diet, I've agreed to Korean barbecue in a few weeks. Now, if you want to be incredibly persuasive and don't care about the long-term health of your relationships, you can take these three things and run with them. But I wouldn't recommend that, both for the obvious ethical problems and because it'll set you up for an unhappy life if everyone around you knows you're just trying to shape them to your will. So be sure whatever it is you're offering does actually benefit the other person. Be willing to compromise where it matters, and don't treat every objection as something to overcome.